Hello, I'm Sian Barton, editor of Insurance Age. I'm here with the Chief Marketing Officer at OpenGI, Nick Giddings. Hello, Nick.
Hi, Sian.
And we're going to be talking about digitisation and customer engagement. So, Nick, can you tell me how the way customers have engaged with brokers in recent years has changed?
Well, we're all consumers, and our lifestyle over the years has changed massively, in particular in the area of digitalisation. I've always said, when speaking about this, that as consumers, as individuals, we no longer go online, we live online, and that has just continued rapidly. Statistics suggest that we, as individuals, own on average 4 devices that are connected to the internet, whereas 2 years prior, that number, while 6, that was 6 per household as opposed to 4 per individual as to where it is now. And that move to digitalisation that will always rapidly change is setting our expectations as consumers at the level of the likes of Amazon. And we have to strive to do that in the insurance sector. It can be more difficult in the insurance side of things. In particular, the perception sometimes of the insurance product by the consumer is that it's perhaps not a tangible product.
Is there a big difference between how personal lines and commercial lines customers want to interact with their broker?
Yeah. At the highest level, absolutely. If we take personal lines, the personal lines consumer believes that they understand their requirements and what they need from insurance, in particular at the high volume end of personal lines, and I would say typically standard private car and standard household. And that is absolutely the area that has been hugely automated and digitalised, as opposed to the commercial line sector, where there is a good element of digitalisation and automation at the really micro end of the SME market. But in the commercial lines consumer, that consumer is actually a business, and that business needs guidance, advice in the requirements that it has of an insurance policy, and that can't be digitalised in the same way. Technology still plays a huge part in ensuring that experience for that consumer is as good as possible, but there's a big difference between the two.
So in commercial lines, there's still a fair way to go on that one?
Yes, well, yeah, absolutely.
What should brokers be offering their clients to be seen as being ahead of the curve on digital?
The approach has to be one of an omni-channel approach, and yeah, each approach within the channel that they're operating, it has to be suited to that channel. The approach absolutely has to be efficient, but in addition to being efficient, we have to ensure that the experience not only improves the engagement with the customer, we should look to get more touch points with the consumer. It's a fact that the more touch points you have as an organisation with the consumer, the more loyal and the higher your retention is with that consumer.
Okay, and is that for both personal and commercial?
Absolutely, yeah.
What tools are available to help brokers with digitalisation?
There's a huge spectrum of tools and technical solutions that are available. But we as OpenGI obviously provide those types of solutions, and we work with our brokers to enhance them and to continuously add to them.
And are you able to give us a couple of examples of what those tools are?
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the highest level, there's something that we call the network effect. So we provide the capability for a broker to connect to the insurance ecosystem, and by that I mean the necessary insurers, payment gateways, the aggregators, if that's an area that you're looking to distribute to, through to SMS text messaging, and the key factor being for the broker is the integration with the area that it manages its clients as part of the technology solution, and the capabilities that we give around that.
How do you see the ways customers engaging with insurance providers changing in the future?
I think that will come from both sides, whether it be the consumer and the broker or the insurer, and I think it'll be one of personalisation.
Right.
And the way that we can adopt and change that, in my view, is just by use of data.
Okay, to make communication more targeted.
Yeah, absolutely. Communication, most definitely. There are other areas in terms of using the data to predict. So through tools such as machine learning and artificial intelligence, to make sure that you can predict an outcome that's better for the consumer, whether that's pricing or an improved process to make it easier, through to using the data that you hold on your customers to market to them better, to help you cross-sell to them, to upsell and improve things like retention that we touched on earlier.
Thank you, Nick.
Okay, thank you.
You can join OpenGI at Broker Expo in Coventry on November the 7th. They're headline sponsor of the event and have plenty of people on hand to talk about customer engagement and all the things we've discussed in this video. Thank you for watching.